Alright, you guys, let's talk about goblins. Let's gobble goblins. Let's get in here. Here's the build. You asked for it, you wanted it maybe, I don't know, so here we go. Goblin Arsonist, dude deals 1 damage when he dies. Goblin Grenade for 6 damage. If you attack in, that's, before you Goblin Grenade, that's 7 damage out of 1 dude for like 2 mana, 1 dude, 1 spell, just freaking messes people. Plus, if they kill it, you get to do 1 damage to their face, so all the board wipers, Earthquake, Flame Break, Wrath of God, and anything that will wipe the board is going to go ahead and deal 1 damage to them as well. So I run both them. Goblin Bushwhacker's insane. You always drop him kicked. Never rough dog this guy. Like, never, ever rough raw, crazy drop this dude without the +1 in the haste there, because it's amazing. Drop him after you drop everything else as well. Goblin Grenade is going to win you games. It's going to win you probably 50% of your games when you're running goblins. Because you draw it like a fiend, even though there's only 2 in there. Game freaked out right there. Goblin Guide is amazing. This guy's going to flip the top card, but it's 2 damage on turn 1. I mean, like, turn 1, they go to 18. And if it's not a land, you get to know what's in their hand. So if they flip over Wrath of God or whatever, you're like, oh, you have Wrath of God. I know for sure now, instead of just being like, I think they might. So Goblin Guide's in there. Raging Goblin is 1 damage. Just comes down, hits them for 1. Shock, obviously, is fantastic. It's a great card. Deals 2 damage. Creature or player, you can aim it at their face, which is awesome. And you can take out, you know, like the 3/2 Garruk's Companion you kill. Versus goblins, you can kill, you know, some pretty tricky shit if they're bad. So there you go. Shock's in there, of course. Ember Hauler is a 3-drop. Never, ever drop this guy on turn 2, because you only have 2 mana open. Have 3 mana open when you drop him, because then when they Flame Break, Earthquake, all those cards we already talked about, you're going to sack this guy out, do 2 damage to their face muscles. So we run Ember Hauler because he's good. Goblin Piledriver just shuts certain decks down. Obviously, he is unable to be handled by several of the decks, except for the blue wipe, because they have pacifism on there. So there you go. But most anything else with blue in it cannot deal with this guy for shit. So he gets in there, he does his things. I mean, obviously he's also insane against just blue decks, because if you drop him with haste or something, they're not expecting him. He's gonna get in there and just get all crazy, because there's lots of things that give him haste, obviously. War Driver, also very good. Battle Cry is always amazing. He's a 2/2 for 2. I mean, he's just a bear, which would be good no matter what, even if he didn't have Battle Cry, you know, in a goblin deck. But, you know, I do like my cards to have tricks as well. 2 dudes for 2 mana, pretty good. They're gonna, most times, if you're not playing red, because they can divvy up damage, pretty much any deck with red in it, you know, just any red deck, they can divide the damage pretty well, pretty easily. Also, Maelstrom Pulse, obviously, but then you got them to use really great removal if they use Maelstrom Pulse against just 2 tokens. So it's usually going to take 2 removal spells to get rid of these guys. Warren Instigator lays dudes on the table. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that you drop your pump dude in between the strikes damage, because he'll do the first strike damage, you'll drop a dude, he'll get +1/+1, he'll do 3 damage on the turn. It's pretty sick. We got 2 of them in there. Gem Palm Incinerators removal. I run all day. This guy all day because I get to draw a card. I love drawing cards. Goblin Artillery kills stuff and your opponent. Pretty awesome. A lot of people say this card isn't good because it deals 3 damage to you, but I'm the Goblin guy. I don't really care. If I'm in a position where, like, the 3 damage will add up if I'm playing, like, the red dude or something like that. Like, the damage will add up at certain points, but I don't care because I'm the Goblin guy. The 2 damage to anything I want for 3 damage to me is worth it, especially for the 3-drop. Just tap him, get to be reusable. Goblin Chieftain's one of those cards that gives my other cards haste. They also get +1/+1. This guy is just a driver of the deck. He's just going to make this deck go. So we run all 3 of them as well. Goblin Warchief is going to make everything cheaper from this point on. I don't have a lot of expensive cards, but this is going to allow me to play goblins quickly. I'm going to be able to play 2 goblins a turn, 3 goblins a turn, when I normally would only be able to play 1 or 2. Plus they'll have haste, so you can get in and just thwack people in the face. Speaking about thwackings, Click Slither is like, this guy's messed up, dude. It's like Sacrifice some goblins, turn this son of a bitch into Blaze for some reason. I don't know. He's got haste too. He's just surprising. You always expect him, but you never want to see him when you're facing the goblins. Ringleader's going to get you some other dudes. Really good. I love gripping cards. Like I said, this dude grips me dudes. He just grips dudes all day. Krinko, the mob boss, is amazing, especially if he has haste. Going to be absolutely fantastic. I will say something though. I don't know if I ever aired this on my channel. I think it happened before I started making videos. But I was playing mono black against goblins. This dude had Krinko out, like 4 goblins or something. I played Massacre Worm, and he, in response, tapped Krinko to make more goblins. And it wasn't a thing where he was, like, falling on his own sword to, like, just be like, you know, I'm going to end it on my terms. It was literally like he had 4 life left after it. So I don't do that, basically, moral of the story. I don't know why you would. Reckless One, I got one of them in there because he's got haste, and he's big and fat sometimes. Sometimes he's not, though, and that's what makes me sad. Because if he's a 4-drop 1/1, I am sad about it. I will say, though, that this dude is huge. If you're in the mirror match, it's basically who lays Reckless One first. Because this guy gets its total number of goblins on the battlefield, so your opponent's side as well. So that guy can get pretty big. Lastly, we have Goblin, Siege Gang, Commander, Bro. He's going to throw some dudes for 2 damage to stuff. I don't even care about that. Basically, it's the fact that he brings 3 friends. Like, that is the only reason he's in there. Is he brings 3 dudes. He's a 2/2 himself. Shit gets real when he hits the table. Cards that are trash would be Goblin Balloon Brigade. This is garbage. It's a 1/1 for 1 that flies sometimes. But the art is awesome. They got like some freaking like alligator, crocodile, turtle thing. And they just made it into a balloon flying around in there. That's pretty cool. This guy's not good because it's only target player. This is not good because sometimes I don't have... I have Goblin Grenade, for God's sake. And I would need to have 5 dudes out to make this as good as Goblin Grenade. Like, I know I have to sack a dude, but I don't really care. This just isn't very good to me because I don't always have dudes out. One thing that I did notice about this deck... You know, because I've played it, it's not like I've never played it before, it's just not my favorite, is that you don't have an overwhelming number of goblins in a lot of matches. A lot of matches you're going to be wanting to have just like 2 or 3 guys out, reserving some in your hand in case there's a board wipe or in case there's, you know, sleep or something comes out. Like if somebody sleeps you and you've got a couple dudes with haste in your hand still, you've still won, so you want to hold back a little bit. And War Strike doesn't really read into that. Like, the crazy all-out, balls-out Goblin player might put this in because they're going to throw a bunch of dudes on the field. But then it's also sorcery speed, which means that when you're caught with your pants down from that strategy, you're not going to be able to use this anyway. And then it's just going to be a dead card in your hand. Smelt, Artifact, I don't care about that. This dude is vanilla and boring and pathetic. I don't care about him. Ring, I don't care about rings. Arms Dealer is he's okay. I mean, he's making me sack a dude, but he can only go creatures. I mean, I don't know. He can remove stuff, but I don't really care about removing stuff. It's not really an issue to me. I mean, I can kill little stuff with Shocks and Gem Palm Incinerator, and if they lay something super huge, this guy's going to have to sack like 2 dudes to kill 1 thing, and it just gets ridiculously out of control. Plus, he's 3 mana. I got to have 5 mana open in order for him to like do something cool when I lay him. I'm not in love with him. He's good, and you can find uses for him in the deck, but we don't really need him because we got Incinerator and stuff for the small things, and they should be dead before they lay something that I would need this guy to deal with. So he's out. Blister Stick was in the deck the entire unlocking session. Because I love it, you know, deal 1 damage, boom, in your face. Plus he's a 2/1, but he costs 3, and that's really ultimately what got him taken out of the equation when we got into this final 60. I like to have control over what I'm doing, and this is again a card that would be great for the, it'd be better if it was like the number of goblin tokens you have rounded down or something, and it costs like more. You know, obviously it would cost more if that's what it said. But the fact that I have to attack each turn is just not cool. It's just not cool because sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I need to save up 1 turn of not attacking for my next turn to be lethal. And this is just going to completely undermine those kinds of, those kind of strategies. So that's out of here. This is offensive to me because it costs so much goddamn mana. Like, if you're playing this, and you tap down 4 mana for a 1/1, are you happy? Like, I've never played this card. I never will. Because it's never cost effective. And I don't have that kind of mana in this deck. I don't have that kind of time either. What am I getting to? Like turn 6? Like, well, oh my god, like, I don't know. Maybe you guys will light up the comments and be like, it's actually not that bad, but I can't imagine that it's good. 4 mana for a 1/1 is just gross. Rough Rider, his art's actually pretty cool, dude. Like, where is this thing's eyes, though? Oh, I see him. It's got like little goofy eyes. It's got little goofy eyes. That goblin looks pretty cool though. It's a 3/2 for 3 mana though. It does nothing, so that's out. Lava Fume Invoker costs 8. I don't think I've ever had 8 mana playing this deck. Discard a card, draw a card. No, that's just out there. Also, it is a 3 mana 1/1. That is not helping me kill anything. I'll tell you that. Squee does stuff sometimes. Most of the time he doesn't. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return him from your graveyard to your hand. But does he win the game? Like, he can chump block, sure. Like, he chump blocks forever. But there's Exile. Exile exists in the world. I don't know. He's just not very good at all to me. He's not going to win you the game. He'll chump block all day, but he's not going to win you the game. Oh, God. This says Viashano, so he's not out there. Miyashino Cherry over here is just gone, out. Devour 3, I don't care. Goblin Shaman, this guy's pretty good. He'll give +2 to that pro blue guy, so you just wax in for even more. But no, it's not good enough. It's 4-drop 2/2. I mean, it gets instant benefit, of course. Like, I don't know. I played around with this guy. I kind of like him. He just doesn't make the cut. But he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's okay. I don't have a problem with him. Goblin Fire Fiend. He only has to be blocked once, if able, so that's not great. He does have, I mean, he's basically a removal spell, but he costs 4, and I have to pump him, so he doesn't work that turn. I don't even know why he has haste. That's like a joke. Like, what am I killing with that then? Honestly, because I'm not gonna have the mana open to make him pumped up big enough to do anything. This dude's too much of a wild card. You guys know that I like to know what's going to happen. And this art is just nuts, though. This art is baller. But no, I don't like that. Get out of here. That guy says giant, plus he kills my dudes for no reason. Plus, it's not even Goblin Grenade. It's just they get flying. No, get out of here. 3 times they give you that guy. They give you that guy 3 times. What is up with that? Reckless 1, like I said, we only need 1 Reckless 1. We don't need a billion of them. Relentless Assault's hilarious. I played it a couple times, but you don't really need it in the deck. Mind Moil is terrible. I'm not doing that. Like, why? What do I have? 1 card left, 2 cards left in my hand? I just get new 2. No, never, ever, ever. And I don't need more than 1 of this guy because he costs too much. Like, I don't need more than 1 of that guy because he costs too much. Which is what I just said, but I said it again in a serious voice. So that's how you know I mean it. That guy's a dragon. He deals damage, but he says dragon. This is the Goblin decks. Get the fuck out of here. Rage Reflection. It's just stupid. It doesn't win. Every time I've seen this card played, I've still beaten that person because they don't have anything. Like 6. They're at 6 mana. They've got no creatures out there like this, and I'm like, oh, you just cum dust all over the place? What's up with that? This guy's bad. What do you get, like 1 dude if you reveal it? It's 1 dude, isn't it? Put a goblin. That is why, so you can. It doesn't have. Oh, it does have haste. There you go. Oh my god, it's almost good except it costs 3,000 mana. And if you get to that point, like I'm saying, if they've stalled you out to the point where you have that much mana, you don't have the dudes that you need to make this guy good. What else we got? This big old fat son of a bitch. This guy's just huge. He blazes, I guess. Deal 1 damage creature or player. Tim costs way less than you, though, bud. Why is he a 4/4? Why doesn't he just cost less and not have the second ability? And why isn't he just Tim? Why isn't he just Goblin Tim? He's ripped, though, dude. That guy's been hitting the gym. That's Goblins. You can obviously tell from the joy in my voice that I love this deck. We're going to be playing it. We're going to be playing all over it. So we got 2 games coming at some point today or tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe both games will be up tomorrow. I don't know, you guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, look at that curve, though, dude. That is what you want your Goblin curve to look like. Like, that is freaking sex right there. That is amazing. Just step on down. Yeah, that's Goblins. That's how I run it. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck tech. I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay that we're going to be getting to shortly. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys, and I will see you Monday with another deck tech.